think that was worth 100 G's rather than 50 G's. I've said it and I'll say it again. I think I have the best striking in MMA.
Sean O'Malley, ladies and gentlemen.
You want to get back on the right track? That is how you do it.
Ian Heinisch, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he's under the chin.
Now it's tight. You look for the new guy when the guy's been right there the whole time.
I tell everybody, once I take you down, it's going to be a long night. I'm not just saying that for fluff, man.
Aljamain Sterling, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered.
Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier.
I'm made for a fucking podcast. That's dangerous. Listen to me, we're at it.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered. Jim Norton and Matt Serra still far apart from each other. And we have a very busy show tonight, or today, I should say. We have Sean O'Malley.
Yes.
Coming off a walk-off, I almost said home run, a walk-off knockout. We have
Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Sugar Sean.
I can't say Sean O'Malley without saying sugar in front.
Aldo Sterling.
Oh, I know him.
A walk-off strangulation.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Sandhagen. And, of course, we have Ian Heinisch coming off TKO of Gerald Mearshart.
Oh, dude, I'm happy with the
Tremendous.
lineup, Jimmy. I'm happy with the lineup. And I'm still on cloud nine because of Aldo. I really am. It felt weird that myself and Ray Longo wasn't there. Longo acts like a young man, but, he's in his early 60s, which sounds crazy to me. It sounds crazy to him because he never matured. He's like me. He doesn't play video games, but he's immature in his own ways. He stays young, I should say. Young at heart.
Yeah.
Longo. But, I didn't want him traveling, so I put the kibosh on that. No traveling for Longo.
Sure.
And it's just such crazy times that myself and Longo, we couldn't make it out. So Raging Al was the head corner, along with a couple of upcoming fighter, Dennis Bazooka, and also Stephen Lee, who's a good friend and martial artist under Ray Longo. So, he had a corner, Aljo, but we weren't there with him. So you could imagine, Jimmy, how nerve-wracking it was for me at home watching the Funk Master versus the Sandman. And I like that. That sounds
it sounds good.
Like a comic book. It sounds like a comic book fight.
Yeah.
Right, Jimmy? Is that what you were going to say?
Absolutely.
Yes?
Yeah. Funk Master against the Sandman.
And, we never went over my pick. I was going to say rear naked choke, to be honest.
Okay.
I was going to say third round. That's how much high regard I hold Cory Sandhagen. He is, it's how ironic is it he put the Sandman to sleep, though. It
is, and so quickly. When they were dry, like as soon as you get on before they're sweating, I'm like, oh, that's a very bad place.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. Aljo's mount and Aljo's back attack and back control is really second to none. Yeah. It's Cory was doing a great job. Cory probably escapes most guys' backs, Yeah. But Aljo's body triangle is so tight that even when he doesn't have that seatbelt grip, which is one arm between the head and the shoulder and the other one under the armpit, and you're grabbing the arm, you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. O'Malley's ready for us.
All right, let's talk to Sean.
Let's talk to Sean, Sugar Sean, and let's get back to this afterwards. It's so exciting. What a jam-packed show.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. What are you driving right now? Is that? It looks like you have an orange cone in there. Where are you?
Oh, it's called a slingshot.
Oh shit!
What's a slingshot?
Yeah.
Looks like a little dune buggy.
Yeah.
It kind of is. It's a Polaris make. It's pretty sweet.
Wait, that's an actual car.
Yeah. It's pretty much my go-to car. It's pretty much what I drive always.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fucking awesome. Where you living? Where you coming from, Sean?
Phoenix. I'm in Phoenix.
It's probably hot as balls over there.
Yeah, but
It's
honestly, the
actually not
best
too
look.
bad right now, but it is.
No.
Oh, did we hear him?
Oh, could you guys hear
We
me?
got you.
Now we got you, but yeah, cuts in and out a little bit.
I think my finger went on the speaker.
Hey, listen, man. Congratulations on what a performance, brother.
Thank you.
That was amazing.
Thank you. Fuck yeah.
Eddie Wineland, man, veteran.
Yeah.
It didn't seem any different than some of your prior fights. Was there, knowing that you were going versus a guy with such experience, guy's been around, rocking that mustache is a little even more intimidating, shows confidence. You were like, you were so composed. Did it feel any different fighting a guy with such experience?
No, a lot of, like, for those guys, the older school guys, they turned pro right away. I don't think they really had much of an amateur career. I think if you total up the total amounts of fights we've both had, I've probably had just as many, if not more. I've had, over 30 some fights with my amateur career. I've been fighting since I was 16, knocking people out cold since I was 16. Just a little skinny dude, no muscle, just hitting people right on the chin. So I didn't feel – I knew I was going to go in there and be able to, do what I did.
Your buddy, your instructor, your sensei with the red hair. Give me his name one more time, please.
Tim Welsh.
Tim what?
Yep. Tim Welsh.
Tim Walsh.
When did you meet Tim? I like your dynamic. I like your chemistry. You guys you're in sync. I see it. That you didn't have to go to the corner in that fight, but I see it. So
Right.
when did you meet Tim?
Yeah, Tim's actually, we're both from Montana. He's from Great Falls. I'm from Helena. We didn't really know each other until he was in Bellator Fight Master, and I was just kind of learning about fighting. And I just remembered that he was going to be on TV. So I was back in Helena. I think I was 17, 18 years old. And I'm like, damn, he's going to be on TV as a fighter? That's fucking insane. I don't know anybody from Montana that's on TV. So I watched that. And then shortly after, he was already living in Phoenix. He came down to commentate one of my amateur fights. And I was fighting this college wrestler. He was from Great Falls, college wrestler. I was just knocking people out. And I knew literally a fucking basic armbar and triangle off my back. And Tim was coming down to commentate the fights. It was for a belt in Montana. And the kid took me down and I fucking popped his armbarred him. And Tim, after the fight, said, hey, if you have potential, if you want to come down and train for real at a real gym at the lab, hit me up. So I called him that next day, got a flight book, and came down. That was when I was 18 years old. And I stayed down in Phoenix for like probably 10 days. And I was like, and I literally would probably cry after every practice. Because when you're the man in Montana, you don't understand there's levels to the game. I didn't know that. I didn't understand there was that guys that good. So I came down and got beat up bad every single fucking day. Flew back to Montana, saved up $2,000, drove my car down. Tim and I got an apartment, and he's pretty much been my head coach the rest of the time.
It's interesting you say that. Was there, because a lot of guys don't want to leave that place where they're doing so well to go to a place where they're not. Was there ever any temptation where you're like, I got to get the fuck out of here, or you're like, I'm going to make this work?
Yeah, I mean, there was days after sparring where I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know if I can do this. But I also in the back of my head, I was like, okay, I don't have the skill yet. I'm a really, really high level athlete, but I just don't have the skill yet. These guys are beating me because they're better. So I'm going to show up at the gym more. I didn't miss a day. I still don't miss a day. I'm still going in twice a day. I'm still getting better. So I knew if I continued to just go and get better that I was going to be beating those guys some days.
You know what I like, man? You're so confident on the mic. And, I've seen on your Instagram too, you put the gi on, you going in there knowing you're going with guys that are most likely going to tap you out, control you more. So to be so confident, you actually have to really be out of your comfort zone a lot in training. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's a weird balance between confidence and being humble and getting humbled. Like,
yes.
if I'm gonna go roll with Augusto Mendez in a gi, like I 100% get fucking choked out numerous times. Even if it's no gi, like there's times where we'll go and he's gonna submit me. He's one of the best grapplers in the world. But also it's like, okay, this is in my mind. I'm like, this is pure jiu-jitsu. Like,
yes,
I'm a UFC fighter. That's where I don't fucking lose. in here is okay to lose. I know I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna go with bigger guys who are black belts. I'm gonna get submitted. I'm not like, if I'm getting submitted, I'm getting better. So I've definitely been able to, kind of turn that around in my brain, which I don't think a lot of fighters can do, is be okay with that.
And this was I think your first fight since the whole lack of crowd. This was your first time dealing with that. And some guys it affects, some guys it doesn't. What struck you about it? Did it feel odd or not at all?
I feel like as a high level performer, I'm up there in the highest level of performance, and I can perform under any circumstances. I prepared to fight inside that cage June 6th, and it doesn't matter if there was 1 million people outside the cage or if there was literally no one. I was going to go in there and do exactly what I did. But it was different. If I could have picked between having a crowd and no crowd, I fucking love the fans when they're there. It's such an insane energy. I did miss that.
You know what it is? The fans, they love you, man. It's not just that you're so accurate and you're putting these guys to sleep. You got that it factor, buddy, and you have it. I can tell you you have it. And I'll tell you right now, besides Post Malone, I don't know, you pull off the face tattoos. A lot of guys can't pull that shit off. Jimmy, let me tell you something. Go ahead.
No, I know. Go ahead. I want to hear what you're going to say.
No, I was just going to say, man, I follow you on Instagram. I'm a bit older than you. Weed, video games.
A bit?
Swag. We could have been hanging out ages ago, me and you. I'm telling you, I'm a fan of the Sugar Show.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. And it comes, like, as long as I can be that goofy character on Instagram and all that stuff, but as long as I'm consistent in the gym, like, that's what's most important, and that's my priority, is getting better and becoming the best I can.
After a fight like this, where you took no damage, you got to be ready to go again as sooner rather than later. So is there anybody you have your eye on, and have you gotten the new ranking yet?
No, I talked to UFC yesterday, a little bit, and I don't know. I didn't really say any names or anything. I said I'm willing to fight Cheeto. I was supposed to fight him a while ago. I thought he won that last fight, and I think the UFC is kind of like, yeah, we thought he won that last fight. I mean, look at Jose Aldo. He's getting a title shot over guys like Aldo, who in my opinion, deserved that title shot, and Aldo is 0-1. So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to fight someone coming off a loss, but I think Cheeto's on a 6-fight win streak. I think he did win that last fight, so that's an option. Other than that, we're kind of just waiting to. I don't know what we're waiting for, honestly. I'm fucking ready to go.
Has your training been affected by the whole, obviously everybody's training is a little bit different, but is there anything that concerns you about it with the new regulations and the way everything is being set up and you can't be within close proximity? Has it affected you at all?
It's funny. I didn't even know there was riots and looting going on until the fight week in Vegas, until Tim and JX were in the hotel watching the news. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. The whole COVID thing I haven't missed a training session. We got a good group of people that come in and train. So I don't pay attention to any of that shit. I'm working on getting better.
You know what I love? Look, with shit talk, I like when it's kind of genuine. Yeah. So I love in the post-fight backstage when you're talking about, or when it was, I seen you talking about Henry Cejudo retiring. And you were mentioning that you knew why, you felt that he was retiring because I don't want to misquote you, but pretty much you had an idea why he was retiring because, possibly because of you. But I really love that you mentioned that, and also, Henry got his first girlfriend. And when you have your first girlfriend, it can kind of mess with you a little bit.
And you're 30.
Dude, that was a bigger KO than Eddie Weidland right there. That was awesome.
And I seen he took to social media and I got the little dude fired up. But you never know. Like I'm in the game. I want to be a pay-per-view king. I want to lead the pay-per-view numbers someday. So I'm poking fun at him. I've poked fun at Cody Garbrandt's his little knockout that he got and stuff like that. So I'm building up good matchups for future fights.
Cody Garbrandt, who the hell would have wanted to see that? That would be amazing.
Yeah, I feel like it was his knockout. People keep thinking that I don't think his knockout was super sweet, and I do think it was really cool, but I don't think you can compare it to mine. he bent down at his hips and threw a right hand from his fucking pocket and got lucky. I don't know if you want to call it lucky or not, but I mean, he just threw a bomb right hand that from his hip. Mine was calculated, precise, accurate, fast. His was fast and a beautiful knockout. Definitely worth the 50 grand, but.
I would say that's a fight he really needed too. I mean, coming off of 3 losses, 3 stoppages, I was happy for him because I like Cody, and that was a fight he really needed.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I really love with your knockout is I mean, Joe Rogan caught it, and some people could see it, but a lot of times people want to kick to the head, they'll look low, then kick high. You did a little feint with an uppercut, like you were going to do an uppercut, and then it went straight. I mean, so beautiful. I mean, you land that a lot where you're faking the uppercut, landing the right, or is it just something?
Just faking lots of stuff. In that same fight, about a couple seconds earlier, I threw the same combo. It's a feint uppercut and it's a kind of feint left hand too. So he's reacting kind of both those, and I'm hitting him with the right hand. So I'm throwing, two shots that are kind of making him react, and then hitting him with that last shot. But yeah, I threw that exact same combo. Anybody that fights me with their hands down like that's getting knocked out. Anybody that's not going to have their hands up and fighting, Jose Quinones had his hands up. He had a really tight guard. He had really good movement. He switched stances. He didn't make a lot of mistakes, and I still knocked him out. So it's going to be, if you come at me with your hands down, you're getting knocked out.
I mean, is it the mid work? Is it how accurate? When you're so accurate, like I'm like, how do you get so accurate? Is it the sparring? Is it the mid work, a combination?
Call of Duty.
Fuck yeah, Call of Duty. Is that your go-to game? Forget this MMA shit.
Yeah,
let's talk video games. What is your
now
go-to?
it's Call of Duty. But I don't spar that much, honestly. I don't.
Really?
I think I sparred total 7 rounds.
Wow.
That whole camp. Yeah. I don't like getting hit in the head. I don't get hit in the head very often in fights. And I'm definitely trying to take as least amount of damage throughout this career as possible because of the fucking brains.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing I got to be careful about.
Do you also work on other things if you're not sparring? Again, I mentioned this last week too, but whenever Ali would train, he would work on weaknesses. I mean, that's when people would see him. He would always be working on something he had to improve on. Is that what you're trying to do more? Like you already know you can strike and you already know you have knockout power.
Yeah, I grapple probably 80% of the, like if I'm training, 80% of it's probably grappling for the week, drilling, live goes. My favorite fucking training is usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 or noon. We fucking do our own warm-up, slap hands, and we'll do, 5 7-minute rounds, 4 10-minute rounds, 3, whatever, and just live grappling from the feet. So that's my favorite training, and that's what we do most of. And then once we get a fight book, we'll really turn up the mitts. But throughout the week, I'll hit mitts a couple times, and then grapple mostly, and then continue by doing my strength and conditioning. But once I have a fight booked, that's when we kind of turn up the mitts.
That's so smart what you said with the sparring, because some guys, they fall in love with the sparring.
Yeah.
And they pay the price. That does more damage sometimes than the fights itself.
Right.
Yeah,
I walked into this fight, and I can't believe I can even say that 100%. I had no injuries. I had felt so fucking good. And the fight before that against Quinones, I would say I was about 90%. I had a little couple tweaks. But every time I have any injuries, it's from sparring. Like I said, I've had over 30 fights. I've had a lot of sparring. I know how to fucking fight. And the only thing about sparring is kind of getting your timing down. But if after coming off a knockout over Jose Quinones, my timing's down. I don't need to have 20 rounds. I don't need to, my timing's there. I need to stay healthy and make sure I'm in shape.
How do you deal with the distractions? The women coming at you, the partying. You seem like you would have a lot of stuff coming at you in waves. How do you, as a 25-year-old kid, you seem very focused on the task at hand, which is becoming the most dangerous motherfucker you could be. Yeah. How do you deal with the discipline? How do you keep yourself disciplined during this?
I think it's it's weird. I felt guilty even Sunday morning. Like I was like eating shit that I hadn't been eating all fight camp. And I felt guilty instantly. I'm like, I need to stay focused and be ready to, get back into camp, get ready to fight again. I don't know. I'm just really fucking focused right now. And I was out for those 2 years for some fucking bullshit that I should have been out for. But like I said, I've said it in plenty of interviews. I look back on that as a positive thing. I was able to grow a lot. But right now I'm like, I need to fight while I still can fight. I'm not gonna be able to fight forever. So let's see how. I don't want to look back when I'm 40 and say, damn, I could have I could have been training a lot more and been a lot better. I want to look back and be like, I did everything possible I could to become the GOAT. And that's where I'm at mentally right now.
How many days do you give yourself to eat like shit after a fight before you get back into being disciplined? How long will you give yourself?
I eat, as far as eating shit, like processed foods and stuff, I'll keep it quality even right now, even a couple days after the fight. Yesterday we were in Vegas and then we had to drive home 4 hours, so I was eating a little more snacks and stuff. But you know, now it's I had a good quality breakfast this morning. I'm gonna try to eat good all night or all day. And then at night, it's when I hit that fucking weed that shit gets me extra snacky.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. Now let me ask you about the weed. Do you feel it helps you? Is it like in training? Do you think it helps you, or just to relax you after training, or do you train high?
No. I feel like I use marijuana as most beneficial as I can. I use it as a real tool to improve the quality of my life, improve me as a human. I don't over abuse it. So like today I'll probably smoke. I don't know. I'm about to go do a podcast with Tim. I might take a little puff, you know, get myself chattering a little bit. But for the most part, I use a vaporizer, a Volcano. It's like a $500 fucking machine that's the most quality.
The bag.
Yeah, the bag. It's the best for your lungs. And I'll hit that around 6:30 at night. Get me leveled out. Cause I could fucking go all day. My brain, it'll be 10 p.m. But if I can hit a nice little bag at night, 6:30 p.m., start getting ready for the, you know, kind of tell myself, okay, it's, you know, time to start winding down. I have my hot tub, I have a cold plunge, I have a sauna. I stick to my morning or my night routine, and I kind of make sure that, okay, we're getting ready for bed so I can have a good day tomorrow.
Well, Sean, you looked really, really great. Congratulations. I mean, there's no better statement you could have made. There's nothing you could have done better. So I'm happy for you that you got to be ranked after this. And I can't wait to see who you fight next. And you're never in a boring fight. You're never not fun to watch.
Never will be in a boring fight. Thank you.
All
right, man. Well,
thanks,
keep
Sean.
it up and we'll talk to you again, okay?
Yep, have a good one, guys. Thank you.
All right, Sean, you too. Be well.
Take care, buddy. Aljo, before we get to your amazing victory, I was going to give Stephen Lee a shout out, but on his Instagram it says Ray Longo's best friends. Ray Longo's best friend, and that's a fucking lie. So Stephen Lee, you gotta fuck that shit. I'm his BFFFF. Listen, fuck that shit. Stephen Lee, all right, you got your shout out. Put a shirt on.
Yes, sir.
Listen, Aljo, fuck yeah, Funk Master. I don't know if it's the edibles or the espresso just hitting me right now, but I feel like I just watched it again, your fight. I'm so fucking happy for you, buddy.
Yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel?
Yeah, it feels like we just pulled off the biggest robbery in history. It feels, you know, because, you know, the odds were even and everyone was saying it was a pick'em fight. And I feel like we went out there and we pulled out a victory in a spectacular way against the number 4 ranked guy in the world. And I almost feel like I stole one away and pulled the hoax over the fans, you know? So it feels good, man. I'm cloud 9 right now, cloud 9.
By the way, you deserve, and we just talked to Sean O'Malley and he felt you deserved the next shot and we felt the two. But, you know, it's going to be Jan against Aldo and it is what it is. But you did something that guaranteed they cannot say no. Like you had to make a statement and you made a better statement than I even could have hoped for you. So you've got the winner of Jan and Aldo.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about that, man. It's a big opportunity. You know, Jose Aldo is a legend. I thought he won the fight against Marlon Moraes, although it was very close, could have gone either way, but I thought he edged it out just on his aggressiveness alone and the strikes being relatively even, I thought. But, you know, it's a fight game. It's a game of inches. As we can see, you know, you make one mistake and sometimes that can make it a very short night for you. So, may the best man win. But at the end of the day, man, if Petr Yan goes out there, he gets his hand raised, best believe I'm coming for that, man, you know. So, I'm hyped. I'm hyped up, man. I'm excited. I don't really have words for this. I'm just like, load up the C4 because we're gonna derail that hype train. We're blowing it up.
Is it? I know it's, you know, your latest win's always the best win, but I feel this might be your best performance to date. I mean, and because you got to look at the caliber of fighter you were fighting. You put to sleep the Sandman, Aljo. You understand? That's fucking ironic.
It says a lot, man. People were, highly touting this guy as the next guy to take me out, and rightfully so. Look at his pedigree. He beat a guy who beat me in a razor close fight as well. But and he pretty much dominated that fight with the Sun Cell. And it's tough to deny the guy's resume. People might look at it like, I just steamrolled the guy, but I don't think people realize how good I really am on the ground, and just getting my wrist back from the surgery and being able to do what I love best, man, which is strangle people, man. Tuesday night, Friday mornings.
It's funny. It's so funny, Jimmy. I told Aljo, and listen, you want your fighter to be confident, but I did tell him, and listen, I love Cory. I think Cory's a fucking beast, and I love how respectful he was afterwards when he told Aljo to go for the belt. Is that what he told you?
Yep. He said, go get that belt.
That's a beautiful thing. That's not that's a guy that doesn't get salty after a loss. You understand? But
yeah, he did call me an asshole when I saw him at the.
Oh, he's joking around. Yeah, that's fucking great.
He is joking though. He's kind of like, I didn't know how to respond. I was like, what's up?
What's so great about this? I mean, really looking at it is Cory Sandhagen is so dangerous and he's a little bit younger than you, that he's going to be kicking ass for years to come. He'll come back from this, and it's great to have that feather in your cap. But I remember just one of the last conversations I had with Aljo when he was out in Vegas. And I'm like, Aljo, if Cory comes down on a Tuesday night and you guys smack hands and you wrestle, what do you think's going to happen? You know what I mean? You're going to fucking strangle him. And I'm not trying to be Nostradamus, but I've seen, and that's not just me, the guys in the room there too, Pumi, Ally Aquinta, Stephen Lee, Ray Longo, we've seen stuff from Aljo that people haven't seen yet. Like, you know what I mean? There's levels where, if they had a kickboxing match, that might be real competitive. Cory's length, he's got the length, he's rangy, he's accurate. But I really, really in my heart feel, and it's been proven, the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu is where there's different levels. And fuck, man, you went out there like the Black Panther on his ass.
I was like Nightcrawler out there, just right over here. Get over here.
How did you see that fight going? You couldn't have, even though you might have thought you were going to strangle him, you couldn't have dreamed that you would be on him that fast, no sweat. How did you see that going when you kind of thought it through?
Dude, I tell you what, man, I had restless nights just dreaming about the fight, how many different ways it could go. Just listening to his interviews and some stuff and the way he was talking and saying, he's world class, but he's a notch above. He's like, but I'm just a notch above that. Very cool, calm, collective demeanor. And it makes it very believable, obviously with his body work. So there was some not doubt, but definitely some worry about certain positions. Would I be able to close the distance? Will I be able to avoid the strike and get it inside? Will I run into a knee with his height advantage? Is his grappling as good as it looks like in terms of the scrambling? Can he out-scramble me? Those type of questions. And I had restless nights, and at the end of the day, I think it was fight day. And as I was after we finished the morning shakeout, I get back to the room, shower up. I look in the mirror and I just go, why can't you finish this guy in the first round? You do it with everybody else. When you get on people's backs, you're a nightmare. I'm like, dude, you just go out there, be aware of what he's throwing at you, cut him off, inch your way in, you take him down and just sell out. And there's no way he's going to be able to keep up with you, especially if you get to his back, because he gives up his back a lot. And sure enough, he did that again. I climbed his back and I was like, dude, I could not have imagined that it would have played out exactly like
so perfect. Yeah.
Visualized it right before, taking that bus ride over to the arena. And I was like, this is insane. You really speak about visualization. And I'm a true believer in that, but to do it a couple hours before the fight was like, I made up my mind then, like, you know what? I'm just going to go after it. If I get the takedown, great. If I don't, just keep shooting. I pressure this guy. All I need is one takedown. Get one takedown, that fight's pretty much over.
And his back defense, I saw him fight, which was the Brazilian. He fought a Brazilian guy that had him in a triangle and arm lock.
Alcantara.
That's who it was, yes. And he seems very hard to submit. And he seems confident when guys have him in bad positions. So when you had the body triangle on him, and he was I'm telling you, this guy probably escapes 9 out of 10 back attacks, this guy, with other people. Yeah. But like we said, there's levels, man. My short legs, I can never do that shit. But that body triangle, when you hooked your foot underneath, even without the seatbelt, it was so hard for this guy to face you at all. Another guy would have lost that back. How did it feel? I mean, he was still dry. Did you just feel this? I mean, because I'm telling you, maybe it was better I wasn't there, because I might have yelled, "Go to mount!" if he was losing the back. You know what I mean? I might have fucked you up. I was so excited when I was watching that thing. Ask Edwin. He knows my brother-in-law. He was watching it with me. I was screaming, "Fucking go to the mount! Go to the back!" I was going fucking nuts, dude. I was having a heart attack.
Yeah.
Was there any thought in your mind about letting go of the back to go to the mount, or you would just felt like he wasn't getting out of there?
No, I didn't think about transitioning. I thought I had him pretty dead to rights. He set up the first time. He tried to make the adjustments that Brian Caraway made, grabbing the figure four lock and getting his knee underneath it, so I start sliding up his back and falling off. And I denied that. I stomped my foot to the ground, and then I snatched him back up in some like scorpion. Get over here! Pulled him back into the death grip, and I went from the face cramp, and I transitioned to the other side. I swung underneath, and Jason Rao and I were just drilling that as a refresher, and I was working it on both sides. And this is the first time I ever hit, I think, a submission on a high-level guy on the left from a rear naked choke position. So I was actually very proud about that, because normally I always get the righty. He defended it well with the face crank. I tried to go palm to palm. He stopped it. He 2-on-1. He fought the legs. He made the adjustments. He sat up. I pulled him back. But once I swung across and I got the hand across, I posted on the elbow. He, for a split second, let his hands touch the mat, and I sunk it in. And I was like, dude, this is game blouses. So
now, what's that mean? He let his hand touch the mat. How did that help you?
So with his hands not being on the mat, so we come across the neck. As we come across the neck and we cut the shoulder, now we have what we call this V point that's in the middle of his chest and pointing all the way down. Now that's when you know you got both carotids, or you can at least crush the jaw, because I got perfect symmetry across his body. He's in line with my chest, facing my hips. And from there, as I prop up on the elbow, it allows me to take my free hand, which is my non-choking hand, to place it behind, grab my bicep, and hide that top hand behind his neck. From there, it's virtually impossible for you to get that hand outside. I would have to just make a mistake for him to grab my fingers, pull it out, and then lose the grip that way. But from there, my chin is locked down, blocking my fingers. I'm compressing and I'm arching at the same time. Figure four body lock. You're not going anywhere. That kills animals. That puts anybody to sleep.
Yeah, Jimmy. With the V, it's like a V on your neck. With the elbow it should be underneath, right in line with your chin.
Right in line.
Yep. Yes. And the biggest thing is, people are like, oh, the choking arm. When guys are looking to defend it, it's the opposite arm that they look to control this, so the guy can't fit, even though you can technically finish with one arm.
One arm, yeah.
It's a lot easier with both. So when guys look to defend it, they try to get the non-choking arm, and then they work their way out. So Aljo hit it behind his head. So once he can't find that arm, and let me tell you, if you never got strangled by Aljo, holy fuck. Let me tell you something. I know what that feels like. It ain't fun.
I haven't yet, but next time we do the interview in person, you can strangle me.
You want to feel it.
Yeah. What you said, his hands touched the ground. Did that just show you what did that mean? That he was not going to be able to get behind and grab your hand?
I think he thought he was safe. I think he thought me coming across and him having a little bit of room for his shoulders to get through, but he was dead position in my hips. His shoulders were out a little bit, but me just having that cut pressure underneath, and I knew once I sunk that in and I got my hips into it, he wasn't getting out, man. There was just no way in hell he could get out of that. Both your carotid arteries are compressed, your chin is compressed, and I thought I was going to get him with the face crank the first time, the way I stretched him out, and I kind of felt him in there, kind of like making a little bit of noise. I thought it was going to be done, but to his credit, he toughed it out. But once I got that one sunk underneath me, and I was like, this is no way. This is almost impossible to escape.
And how hard is it to go from a face crank to under the chin?
Well, if the opponent lifts his head up to relieve the pressure on the chin, it's pretty easy. But he was able to get the 2-on-1 and extend my hand and pull it across. So it made it a little bit more difficult for me to apply pressure while he was pulling the pressure off. So it's a battle of, do I want to sell out on this position, me pulling and squeezing, and him pulling and trying to relieve the pressure, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is next? Petr Yan? Petr Yan is next. You want that guy.
Or Jose, yeah.
Or Jose. But Jose Aldo. But Petr Yan reminds me of like an Ivan Drago. Like right now, he's probably just fucking on some machine, fucking running or something. Like, you know what I mean? That guy, that's the fight I want to see. But I mean, listen, you're going for the fucking title regardless. It's right within your reach, Funk Master.
It's unreal, man. This is unreal. It's like, man, when I got up, I blacked out. I didn't even remember all the running around I did, yelling at Dan. I had no idea I did all that. I was just like, dude, I was in the zone. I was like, dude, this is just crazy to see all the hard work come to fruition. And against a top guy like that, he's taking out so many good guys. Only had one loss. He's going to be taking out all these other guys coming up. And people might look at it like, oh, he's got this weakness. I don't think they realize it's not that he's just not that great on the ground. That's probably one of his weaker areas. But I think it's just my ground game is just that more elite compared to other guys. I just train with too many world-class guys in that department. Jason Rao, Nick Ronan, Quinta Marab, all these guys, Sully, Gullos, all these guys, man, they're so good, man. We just have a great team behind us, especially in that department. So definitely Peter Yan next or Jose Aldo, whoever it is. I really don't care. I just want to get my opportunity that I think I rightly earned and bring another belt to Long Island.
Holla! You know what's really amazing, Jimmy and Aljo? On a night in your weight class, when you got guys like Sean O'Malley and Cody Garbrandt both doing slick-ass knockouts. Yeah. It's not like they were some shitty-ass, oh, the guy's tired, he knocks him out. They were both holy fuck knockouts. You got a submission, which normally is not, I mean, that's great, but normally people put a lot on the knockouts. Yet, everybody's talking about you for the title. That's how impressive it was. And part of it is because of your dance partner over there, fucking Sandhagen. You know what I mean? That's because everybody expected a fucking battle, a dogfight. So to go in there and make it look like it was fucking UFC 1, no offense to Sandhagen. I mean, you took him down and spoke him like a doobie. Just rightfully so. You deserve all this praise, buddy. And it's not just because you're my buddy. You know what I mean? You know what, Jimmy? I've seen the ups and downs, man. I've been backstage with Aljo when he had a rough night and for him to bounce back from that and then come out and beat an undefeated fighter with the pikey. Was it the pikey that time?
Yeah, Brett Johns.
I mean, after having a couple of hard time fights. I mean, it's all about the journey. That's why I think when you got that choke, dude, you're talking about you blacked out. I almost fucking fainted. I yelled so much, I actually had to sit down, Jimmy. It's like when Jimmy makes me laugh so too hard. You might have almost killed me along with the fucking Sandman. Hey, man, I don't know what else to say, dude. I do know that Marab is fighting this weekend.
Hell yeah.
Ray Borg, and I'll tell you, we're such a tight team, Jimmy, that they're staying out there. They're staying with Marab, and they're working with him all week long. And we're going to keep this party going, man.
We literally so we're sitting in the hotel lobby at the next hotel with my manager, Marab is my manager, with Lloyd. And I go, Lloyd, what do we got to do to get this guy a fight? He's been trying to get a fight for how long now? No one wants to fight him or we can't get him a fight. He goes, you want to fight? He's like, I'll text Shelby right now. So he goes, that's it? So he texts Shelby. I shit you not, 2 hours later, hey, we got Ray Borg. You want to fight? Yes, we're in 100%. And Marab's been training with me the entire training camp and everybody else. So he's fight shape ready, So this is an amazing opportunity for himself to show the world his skills as well against a former title challenger in Ray Borg. And then, of course, we got Matt Frivola the following week, and I'm going to be out here for that as well. So it's a good time, man. I think we're all riding that wave, and the team's still undefeated in 2020, and we're going to keep this train going.
Well, congratulations, man. It was an amazing win, and you're next for the shot at the title, and you deserve it. You deserved it sooner, but I'm happy for you that you got it, and you got it, took no damage. So I'm really happy for you, man.
Thank you. I'm going to stay in shape because there's potentially that something might happen with this fight with Jan and Aldo. Nobody knows, but something might happen. So it just makes sense for me to stay in shape. That fight's next month, and with gold on the line, so it'll be a huge opportunity for myself and everybody back home. So I'm super excited, man. This is good times, man. Exciting times to be a part of the team. Exciting times to invest in some Funk Master stocks.
Can I just say that before when fight night, Ray Longo put out this awesome thing on his Instagram with the whole team over at Lore MMA doing like a birthday parade type of a shout out with him. Everybody's driving honking horns. He didn't fucking call me, Longo. I was supposed to be there too, and I was pissed. But anyway, that has nothing to do with anything. Listen, man, the fucking shit's kicking in. Listen, Aljo, I'm so fucking proud of you, dude. I told you enough, but I'm going to keep telling you. When you do come back, hopefully Eddie's Pizzeria is open and we could all fucking celebrate. We're celebrating either way.
Yeah. Definitely. We gotta do something. We gotta do something when we come back. When everyone's back together.
So happy for you, buddy.
Yes, buddy.
You are the future champ.
I still can't believe everything happened the way it did. It's really unreal. I expected, honestly, a more crazy fight. Both of us in the hospital, and
look at
man,
you're a rooftop boss now, hanging out.
I know.
That's a good time.
I feel like I've really pulled off a big robbery. That's what it feels like. Like, did we just get away with it? Everybody gets one. No, every dog has their day. So I think, again, Sandhagen's is tough. He's gonna be back, but. No, it was the night of the funk, so I'm just happy.
You deserve it, buddy. By the way, if people want to catch up with you besides your Instagram, it's your fucking podcast, The Weekly Scraps.
The Weekly Scraps. We're rocking and rolling. We got an episode coming out today. I'm on a media tour right now, so we got to bang out a bunch of these, and it's a good time, man. You know, it's always nice when people want to talk to you. So
enjoy it. Enjoy it, buddy.
Yeah, it's a great job, man.
Thank you guys. I hope you guys are staying safe, having fun, and can't wait to see you guys back when I get back home.
You're the best, man. I'll be touching base with you probably tomorrow or something about Merab. My man, Funk Master.
See you soon, man.
Thank you.
Later, buddy. Tell Pumi and Stephen Lee I said bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. What's up, man? Congratulations, dude.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Hey, let me tell you, you won me over when I seen you have to really deal with adversity when you fought Shoeface, Antonio, was something Jr.
Carlos Jr. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. That's when, because I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. So when I was watching that, and that's what really put you on my radar, I'm like, oh, this is going to be another Shoeface victim because he took him down and he was on your back.
Yeah.
And you weathered a storm. And real props to Mark, what's your coach name? Montoya. I'm sorry, I know Mark. He got you back in sync in the corner, and you came to really get your head back in the game and win that fight. And that's when I'm like, oh shit, man, this guy knows how to deal with fucking adversity.
Right, story of my life.
But how does it feel to get the monkey off your back, man? Now that you got you're back in that wing column.
Yeah, it feels great. You dropping 2 fights in the UFC, whether you're ranked or not, it's tough, man. Your job could be possibly on the line. And so there was a lot of pressure, but I took that pressure off and just focused on performing. I made a lot of changes. I moved to Thailand, then COVID hit. I came back to Denver, didn't go back to my old team, assembled a new team in just this whole midst of all the COVID and adversity, and just found my groove, man. I found a great group of training partners, a good 2 coaches, and we went to war, man, and it paid off.
You in Denver now? You're in Denver now?
Yeah, I'm in Frisco, Colorado. I'm getting ready to go camping right now because I'm actually I wanted to announce it with you guys first. I'm fighting on June 27th against Brendan Allen.
Oh, nice.
Keeping busy, man.
Now, where is that fight? Is that in Vegas or is that Fight Island's not till July. So is that in Vegas?
Yeah, it's right back where we were. And the funny thing is because one of my cornermen tested inconclusive on his COVID test. So they pulled the fight. And my manager already lined up this fight for me to fight in 3 weeks if I was going to be pulled from the card. I got the guy retested with the UFC, did a great job. He came back negative. And then obviously I went out there, did this performance on Gerald Mearshart, who's Brendan Allen's teammate. And then we said, hey, well, I'm healthy. Let's still take that fight.
Yeah, you didn't really take a lot of damage. So again, that's always a nice way to end the night. You can be ready in 3 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in shape right now. I'm just gonna keep staying in shape and just train a little bit, and I'll peak again in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it is, and get another win and get me back on track for getting 4 fights.
Did those sorry, Matt. Did those 2 losses? What did that do anything to your head when you had those 2 losses? I mean, obviously, you can win again, but was there that thing like, Christ, if I lose, this is 3 in a row?
Yeah, definitely. But I had to, after the first loss against Brunson, you know, I never lost 2 fights in my whole career. So I had to, I put a lot of pressure on myself against Omari, and I think the pressure went against me a little bit. I was a little gun shy. I wasn't trying to just go in there and dominate like I did my last fight. So I took the pressure off winning and losing this fight, and I just focused on movement and dominating and just performing. If I perform, I'll win. So that's what happened.
That's funny, Jimmy. I was about to ask something very similar. I've been, as a fighter, I've been there before, maybe twice before, where I've lost 2 in a row. And it's weird, man. It really makes you mentally, it could really screw with somebody, because it's like after 1 loss, it could happen. It's MMA. But then now you got 2. So when you get 2, like, all right, if I get 3, like you said, this could be my fucking job, man. So it really, like, I remember for myself, I'd be like, all right, just remember, you're getting paid to fight, you enjoy fighting, keep it simple.
Yeah.
How did you mentally, is that what you did? Something similar to that? Or how did you mentally deal with that? Because it could break people. It could break people.
Yeah, it really can. You know, if you start thinking about the outcome, oh, I lose my job, my mortgage, all these bills and everything. And I was moving to Thailand. What am I doing moving to Thailand if I lose my job? So all these things are going through my head, but you got to just shut that part of your brain off. And you just have to, hey, why do I do this? I love it. Just like you said, I love doing this. I love going to practice. I got to just find that passion again. And I just got to focus on performing, because I know if I'm on and I perform, there's not many people in this world that could even get close to beating me. So, and that's how I feel, and that's what I believe.
Part of that was, you said you made changes to your camp? You switched teams, or what'd you do now? Was that part of going to Thailand?
Yeah, so I went out there for 5 weeks just to kind of clear my head and check things out. Fell in love with the living, the culture, the beaches, and obviously the training camp and the coaches. And so I came back, I told my own coaches, hey, I'm moving. I went out back to Thailand to do an 8-week camp before I was going to move my wife out and rent my house later after that fight in May 16th in San Diego. Fight got canceled, COVID hit. Donald Trump said, hey, you better get back. We're going to close borders. I came back, and then it was a time of like a week or 2. I had no clue what I was going to do. The fight was canceled. I wasn't going to take a fight because I had no team. I had no coaches. I didn't want to go back to the team I just left because there was a little bit of tension there. And so I just left it to God, man. And he found me a group of great training partners, some coaches that came together, and it was all meant to be. And my coach kept it so simple for me. It was just movement. All he said was movement. Don't worry about the arm bar, the guillotine, the chokes. He said, just worry about your movement. And I just stayed moving, and I went out there, and Did
your wife want to move to Thailand, or was she kind of relieved, like, all right, we're going to stay in Denver? Is this something that you guys feel like, fuck, that would have been fun, or are you kind of happy you don't have to?
Oh, we're still moving to Thailand. It just got delayed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. We might split camps now just because of this, the amazing bond that I've came with these new coaches. But yeah, we're definitely moving to Thailand. But yeah, she's a full-time nurse, and she quit her job. So at first she was a little hesitant, you know. It's a big move. It's a big change, but you know, she's on board. She supports me. She knows it's best for my career right now. So we're excited.
Where do you train in Thailand?
Tiger Muay Thai.
Tiger Muay Thai, yeah, because we were just talking to Mike Swick. He's got that AKA Thailand.
Yeah. I trained over there as well. But like the most prominent fight team out there is that Tiger Muay Thai with the Hickman brothers.
Ah.
How's the cost of living out there? Yeah. It's much better, right?
Oh man, you can get a 3-bedroom house for $600-700 a month with a backyard. You know, I mean, $3 to $6 eating out at a restaurant. A $9 massage. I mean, thing is, it's a third of the price, roughly everything. Wow. So yeah, no, I'm excited just with the culture, and I'm a beach person. That's me. So I'm gonna go be by the beach.
Where did you grow up, Ian?
I did grow up in Denver, you know, and I love the mountains, and that's why we're going camping right now. But I don't like the cold. When it's cold here, it's not for me at all. And the elevation, man, has been rough on my body lately. It really doesn't let me recover. Yes, it gives me that lung power in a fight, but man, it's hard to recover. I just feel better in the heat and humidity.
Tell me about the camping. What do you guys got lined up? You fishing, you canoeing, what's going on? My wife is the furthest away. Listen, you have to have a partner that's into that. Because if, you know, my wife, she sees a spider, she's not going to the tent. Fuck that. When I was a kid, I used to do it. I used to like that stuff, but, you know, my wife's not into it. I guess your wife is outdoors person as well?
Yeah, she's a born and bred country girl from Nebraska. So she's all about the camping, and she actually never camped before she met me in the mountains. But yeah, we're going outside of Leadville, which is one of the highest towns in America. There's a lot of history there, a lot of Wild West. Doc Holliday lived there, all that. And we're going to cruise off 4-wheel where there's no people, and we can just get away from all the noise and just let my mind refocus, be right by the river, do some fishing, go on a hike. And because first off, I need to refocus my mind, and then refocus my body will come after, and then get back into training and be ready to fight. What's so
impressive is that, you know, Gerald Meerschaert just came off of a great win versus Deron Wynn. You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, to face a guy like that, again, after coming off a couple fight skid, I mean, it shows the mental toughness. Because, I mean, listen, you're not going to get any scrubs at this stage of the game in the UFC. But that dude was coming off a nice high, you know? And you know he's with a good camp. So, I mean, shit, man, I am so excited now. Now, you're fighting his teammate. That even adds a little something to it, no?
Yeah, he actually cornered him. He was cage side for that fight. And so, yeah, no, it's cool, man. Like, you know, right now it's a time of opportunity. Yes, it's hard times as well, but there is opportunity in the COVID, and there's not a lot of fighters that are ready to fight right now. And, you know, usually I would be climbing the ranks. You know, I'm ranked number 13, but the only fight, you know, everyone's booked or people aren't ready. So Brandon Allen's ready to go. I'm healthy and ready to go. Let's put a show on for the fans.
Was there a moment, sorry, Matt, there was a moment where you knocked him down and he was grabbing for your legs, and I'm like, Meerschaert might survive this. Is there a moment where you register that he let go of your leg and then just covered up and you know, I got him?
Yeah, you know, I started hitting him hard, and then I was like, you know, this guy's known for being durable and taking a beating and then coming out and subbing you at the end. So I hit him with a few hard shots. He got to his knees, and it was like started to be a grappling exchange. And I was like, okay, breathe, you know, don't conserve some energy. Because when I dropped Brunson with that head kick, I took so much energy out of me, just like flexing and holding my breath, like get the finish, you know? So I was like, breathe, focus. And then I caught him with another one that made him kind of curl and take the fetal position. And I was like, all right, give it your all. This guy, we're going to finish him.
Isn't it funny how one of your worst experiences, like anytime you lose, it's a horrible experience. I know how that feels. It leads, it raises your IQ, your fight IQ, and it leads to one of your best experiences. Like I've dealt with that. Carol Parisian, very similar. I almost knocked him out, got tired, took a beating for 15 minutes. But then I remembered when I hurt George in my fight with him, I remember not to make the same mistake. So it really, on this stage, when something like that happens, it forces you to become a smarter fighter, because it's like embedded in your brain, that horrible feeling of, oh, I was right there. Laces out. It was so close.
It haunts you, man.
It haunts you, but it ultimately gets you better, you know? And that's what we saw in your last fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, it was like, they call me, you know, I feel like I'm the king of controversy, you know? Thursday, I'm getting ready to cut weight and make the real hard cut. And I'm off the card for 5 hours, you know, like, and literally my phone's blowing up. I had to shut it off. And, you know, I didn't know if I was fighting. And, you know, it was just a wild time of just a roller coaster high. And I was like hungry and wanted to drink. And I was like, well, if I'm not on the card, why can't I just drink and eat? But I just stuck to the course. My coaches did a great job. And I thrive in that controversy for some reason. You know, God has just put that in my cards, you know, and it seemed like with all the controversy, I get in this mindset, that prison mindset. I have to bring that back. And I had to do that. And, you know, it paid off, man. I felt like I had a bulletproof mindset going into this fight. And I felt great and performed.
Matt, are you in your car right now? Is that like the hatch of your car that's open?
Yeah, this is the hatch, and the mountains are behind us, and yeah, we're getting ready to lose service, so I had to stop to give you guys a great interview.
And I'll tell you, Ian, it is funny, not funny, but it's interesting what you said about because it's not just you. Some guys are really taking advantage of this quarantine situation where a lot of fighters aren't going to be fighting. You just fought. You're unscathed. You're fighting again. We just Ray Borg fought not too long ago. He's fighting one of my guys, Marab, in a week this weekend. He just fought. Charles Rosa lost to Bryce Mitchell. He's fighting again, really. Yeah. So a lot of guys are in shape, and if shit doesn't go their way, or it does go their way, yeah, man, they're riding this wave. I think it's super smart.
You know? Yeah, absolutely. It's a time right now you can sit around and feel bad for yourself, or you can be like, hey, I'm going to make it happen, and I'm going to take advantage of some opportunity right now. you know, there's not too many fighters that are left that are ready to fight right now. And you know, it's usually I wouldn't fight an unranked guy after winning against an unranked guy after my 2 losing streak. I would start climbing the ranks, you know. But with Brendan Allen being available and no one else being available, you know, let's do it. Let's get another paycheck and just keep putting on shows.
And in a time when there's a lot of fights and people could forget about a win, you know, because there's another fight. Hey, man, people are seeing your face more, and you're an exciting fighter. Absolutely. So that's how people are going to be falling in love with your fighting style. Just like me and Jimmy
absolutely.
are.
Yeah. Well, I'm fans of you guys, man. So I appreciate getting on the show.
Well, thanks, Ian.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And look, man, congratulations. And we're looking forward to your fight in 3 weeks. It's great we get to see you again so soon. And have fun camping. And we'll definitely talk to you again, hopefully soon.
And I'm going to check out your Instagram.
Yeah.
So I'll take some pictures of the camping trip. I want to see how that goes. I like that stuff. Okay. I'm going to live through you because I don't do that shit.
Okay, yeah, I'll take some pictures, put it on my Instagram, check it out. But also read my story on the Players Tribune. It's my life story and just how it shows. 6 years ago, you know, I was rock bottom in a foreign prison cell, and now being a ranked fighter in the UFC, I just, you know, I want to show my story of inspiration for people, and you know, show people you can do anything. You're not too old. It's not too late. You're not, you know, I've overcame drug addiction and everything. So.
Was it the Canary Islands? I think I read about that. Was that where you were? You were, and how long were you in for? Because I did read about it, but I didn't get the length of time you were in for.
Yeah, so I got popped with ecstasy in Colorado, posted bail, fled the country, and then was trafficking cocaine from Colombia to Spain, and got popped over there. Did 2.5 years in prison over there. Trained the full time when I was in prison. They had a wrestling program. They had a kickboxing program, a boxing program. They let me do MMA. I learned Spanish fluent. They really reformed me, and it helped me overcome my drug addiction. And then I got released 2014 Valentine's Day. And, you know, that's when I started training MMA for real. And, you know, 4 years later or 6 years later, you know, here we are.
That is freaking, this sounds like this is a movie in the making for sure. You know, you get the title. Absolutely. Fuck yeah. This is going to be a movie. Wait a second. They had a wrestling program, an MMA program in jail?
Yeah, it was called Lucha Canaria. It was amazing. It was like you wear a gi, but you roll it up, and you start shoulder to shoulder in like a gladiator sand pit. And it's best out of 3 takedowns. And you go through the whole team. And once you eliminate the team, that's how you win. And me and one American were beating teams off the street, like professional teams. And we were in the newspaper. It was awesome, man. It really was.
Where was this?
So it's off the coast of Morocco. It's little islands called Canary Islands. It's in Spain, Spanish owned.
This reminds me of Batman Begins when Bruce Wayne got himself locked up just to work on his fighting skills. I'm sorry, I'm a geek.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want you to lose respect.
That's why they call me the Hurricane. It's like Reuben Carter. He did 2 years in prison, came out, became a world champ, and that's what I'm going to do. Obviously, he had a lot more controversy in his life, and you know, hopefully that doesn't keep following me. But yeah, that's where I got my nickname, the Hurricane.
Well, hey man, listen, congratulations not only on the fight but on turning your life around.
Thank you.
I'm really happy for you, man. And I'm going to be checking out your Instagram for these hiking pictures.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll get them posted.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Ian, thanks a lot, man. Have a good time, and we'll see you in 3 weeks.
Fellas. All right. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Take care, man.
Take care, Ian.
All right. Bye-bye.
That was great, man.
Yeah.
Wow, Jimmy.
He did some on Rikers too, but I figured we'll ask him about that next time. I know he did some time on Rikers Island when he came back. I think because he had left for Amsterdam or something. So when he comes back, maybe if we can make a note of that, I'll ask him.
Listen, Jimmy, you know I'm a positive guy.
Sure.
And I like when people, like, they turn their life around. And that's a beautiful thing.
That's right.
You know, we didn't even get to talk about the fights. We only talked about Jimmy. We had a jam-packed show today.
We did, man.
Anything we want to touch base on with the fights? I mean, hey, first of all, how about this, Jimmy? Let's talk about our picks for a second.
You were stronger though.
What was I? Let's say it.
Well, we were both very, very effective.
I was 5 for 5.
So was I.
Wasn't I?
We both were. However, you came a little bit closer with the methods. Like, for instance, Matt Serra. I mean, I'm not even going to give myself. I came close. I picked O'Malley by a second round stoppage. You picked him by decision. We were both incorrect in the way. I was a little closer. However,
Okay.
I picked Magny by a third round submission. You picked him by decision, and he
How do
won
you win?
decision.
Well, you say that very fast, and you kind of slowed down when you pointed out that Sugar Sean. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
So I picked that. And by the way, people, UFC Unfiltered Army, I've been getting so much love from them. They're so nice.
Yeah.
Our fans. You know, a lot of people chime in when I do shitty picks. Wrong. I see on my Instagram. Boo. Hey, I got one person, I feel like giving the guy a shout out, and said, good pick, Sarah, or something like that. Anyway,
So we were both wrong on the round. I was right, there'd be a stoppage. I was off by 1 round, and you said decision. However, you were right on Magny's decision. I said third round sub.
Thank you.
We both picked Aljamain. I picked him by a second round submission. You didn't give a pick, but I can't count that because you had inside knowledge.
Yeah. But I did pick him to win by submission.
We both picked him to win, yes. And the one you picked that was incredible was Garbrandt's first round KO. I picked him by decision.
It was the second round KO, wasn't it?
No, I believe it was.
Was that the buzzer in the first round or the second round?
That was hold on, maybe you're right, Matt. I'm sorry. You know
second round. It was a second round.
I'm sorry, dude. You know what? I was remembering that wrong.
I would have fucking took credit for it.
I
got it right.
I was remembering that wrong.
It was a KO though.
Yes.
And then the champion.
Second round. I'm sorry. Amanda Nunes. I picked her in a first round stoppage. You picked a fourth round stoppage. She won by decision. Felicia Spencer, very tough.
Yes.
But not in her league as far as skill is concerned.
She's super tough though. Super tough.
Very tough.
Durable.
Yeah. Brutal.
But I'll tell you. Let's do wait, really quick. A couple of shout outs to the prelims. Okay.
Yes.
Herbert Burns. I'll tell you, the parents knew what they were doing when they named Gilbert and Herbert.
Yeah.
Because they probably got fucked with as kids.
Yep.
Hey, let's go fuck with Gilbert. And then Gilbert just fucks him up. And Herbert. Anyway, I think those brothers are I'll tell you. Herbert, Evan Dunham, by first round submission. Evan Dunham is one of these guys that's been around a long time.
Yep.
He's got notable wins over good guys, Gleason Taboo, and I killed that guy's name.
That's okay.
But anyway, and some other guys. Listen, he has some good wins, and he's a very well-rounded veteran, and he's very good in jiu-jitsu, black belt. So for him to take him down and get a submission, that was very, very impressive.
We also can you guess, Matt? Can you guess
Go ahead.
what my favorite? Now the prelims are all great fights, but what I enjoyed the most in the
me knocking out Frank Trigg on Fight Pass.
No, that's what I watched before and
you mean on the card on the weekend?
On the prelims, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Which one you enjoyed the most?
Yeah, because Devin Clark over Menifield was amazing.
Well, Devin Clark, we found him on Looking for a Fight.
Real smart fighter.
And I thought that was a very smart fight.
Yep.
And it was listen, when they say a failed takedown, he was, and I used to do this too. He would shoot for a guy to sprawl, and then he'd come up into the clinch. He was closing the distance without getting hurt,
That's right.
without getting pieced up. And that was very smart by Devin Clark.
Yeah.
And he needed to do that to get the blood flowing in Alonzo's He-Man body build.
Yep.
Because I'll tell you right now, he took a little stank off those punches.
Yeah.
And it made a big difference. Because I'll tell you, the first uppercut that Alonzo threw,
that was
it closed Devin's eye.
Yeah.
So he was a one-eyed fighter through most of that fight. And props to him because he fought very smart versus Alonzo Mainfield. So Devin Clark fought great. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say your fight that you enjoyed the most was Alex Perez taking out Jussier Formiga, who's a stud, by TKO by leg kicks.
Calf kicks.
You know, Jimmy, it was beautiful.
It was crazy. I watched a guy fall like that from calf kicks.
But I'll tell you, that's not the first time he landed those things in a fight. He is awesome with those calf kicks. And Alex Perez, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Incredible.
Huh?
That was my favorite. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, condolences to Cody Stamen, brother.
18 years old.
I'll tell you right now, I think Joe Rogan said it, and I agree. This might have been the best Cody Stamen ever looked. And he fought Brian Kelleher, who was game.
Yeah.
You know, Long Island kid. tough kid, and he was in the fight, but he was just a little behind the whole time.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, and I saw Joe Rogan getting a little misty-eyed when he was doing the interview afterwards, and when Cody was talking about holding in tears all week. You know, Niagara Falls, Frankie Angel. I was getting a little upset.
Yeah.
I'm an emotional guy.
Sure.
So, you know, congratulations and condolences.
Yeah.
Cody Stamen. I can't wait to see what's next to him.
And also, I got to say, we had Chase Hooper on, and, you know, his stand-up is just, you know, like you said, there's different. Alex Caceres is just a different level striker. And to watch a guy who has fought everybody, who's a veteran, they kept saying he went the distance with Yair Rodriguez, split decision. To watch a guy who's that comfortable, who's fought that many great fighters, you just see the experience over a guy like Chase Hooper, who's dangerous on the ground, but this is a guy who knows how not to be taken down by a guy who's dangerous on the ground.
And I'll tell you, anytime they were on the floor, Chase had a chance of doing something.
Sure he did.
How slick he
sure he
was.
did.
But this is what it looked like, and I like Chase.
Yeah.
Chase. Yeah, I do like Chase Hooper a lot. But it looked like a man fighting a boy. Like it looked like a 32-year-old man fighting a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it looked like to me. And what is more dangerous than Chase's ground game is that he's got a good chin, and that he's a tough kid.
Very tough.
And that's dangerous for him to be in these fights with a guy of Alex's level, because he'll take the abuse, and that could shorten a career. So I think, you know, he should take a little time and, you know, keep working his skill set, working that head movement, working the takedowns, where the other, you know, and again, he's going to be growing. The guy can't even go out and buy a beer. He's a young kid.
Yeah, 20 years old.
You know, the guy doesn't shave yet. So, I mean, he's a young kid. He's a gifted kid. I think he should take a little time and get the other, his striking and his wrestling. They might not get to the level of his ground game, but they need to be leveled up.
Agree.
You know? And part of it will become with him maturing as a person. By the way, he did have some funny, oh shit. I got it. Yo, we have to look it up now. I'm going to look up his Instagram because it's funny. It is funny. It was him with Ben Askren said something like, sorry, son. They have a little thing going on about him, about those guys, about him being his son.
Him being his dad, yeah.
But he said something which was so fucking funny. I'm not gonna be able to find. It's probably on Twitter, and I'm not on Twitter. But it said something like, well, thank God, at least I have mom's chin, Dad, or something like that. It was fucking good. Wait, here they go. They're getting it. Well, what the fuck? You're putting it on Twitter.
That's very funny.
I have to see it.
Thank God I have mom's chin.
Read it. They're gonna send it to me right now. I want to read it. It's fucking funny. It's so funny. Are they sending it to me?
It was funny. Time for baby funk. Let's go, Chase. And he wrote, sorry, Pops. Glad I at least got my mom's chin, though. That was very funny.
So funny. That is so great.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
I think we touched base on pretty much everything.
Yep.
What a great show.
Great show. It was so good to catch up with Aldo. And, of course, Sean O'Malley is a very fun guy to talk to. And Ian Heinisch, a fascinating story. Next time I want to talk more about Rikers Island. And
I'll tell you, what a story with Ian, man.
Very
I didn't
interesting.
even know that.
Yeah.
I love hearing that backstories. And then, of course, Aljo, the Funk Master Sterling.
Sure.
Amazing, man.
Just so happy for him.
I feel he's going to be the future champ. And again, you know, Cory Sandhagen, keep your head up. And I'll tell you who I feel bad for, whoever Cory Sandhagen's fighting next, because that kid is a tough kid. Yep. And one of the worst things that happened, it never really happened to me, but it happened to guys I'm close to, and is when a fight, after a fight camp, it's one thing if you lose, but if you lose when you, like, I think he got one strike off or something in that fight before he got taken down and taken out. So when you really don't get to show anything that you've been working on or whatever, it's like, oh, I feel like I haven't even fought type of feeling. So I feel for Cory, but I think it's going to light more of a fire underneath him, and that he'll be back. And it's exciting times, man.
Yes.
That was such a great card. And so many things that you know, from Cody Garbrandt's KO to Sugar Sean O'Malley.
That's right.
To Aljo's strangulation.
What
a night, brother. What a night.
Yeah. Well, listen, buddy, we will talk on Wednesday, and this was a fun one. And then we'll get ready for the next card, which I guess is in
this weekend.
This weekend. Jesus, right. I love it.
This weekend. We got
I think-
Marab fighting.
That's right. If there's anything to COVID that's positive, and there's really not much, it is that we're getting a lot of fights in a row.
Yes.
I'm trying to take some positive out of it.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
And I'm being positive, but I miss you already.
Yeah, I miss you too, pal.
I'll talk to you in a couple days, buddy.
See you soon.
Later, Jimmy. Goodbye, everyone.